Yes, one of my favorite books of all time. What a great way to start the morning in a 13-bedroom mansion. And my favorite part, where Thranduil says, because it was real. Fantastic. Oh, a call. Good morning, Trent. How are you? Yes, no, I was just reading one of Peter Jackson's best works. Yes, the weekly news rundown. I am excited. I'm very excited. What stories do you have for me today, Trent? Disney is making an MMORPG. Interesting. Will it be good? Okay, maybe not. Lord of the Rings Online's new festival. Fantastic. What a great story. I love that game. Wait. Did you say Final Fantasy XIV? We're doing a Final Fantasy XIV story? Oh no. Trent, I've been sitting on a bombshell of a story, but I've been scared to talk about it because, well, it's Final Fantasy XIV. The weebs might come after me. But we have to do it, Trent. We must report the MMO news integritiously. No, Trent, don't worry about me. We'll be fine. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the weekly MMO news update. My name is BrightLife. We have a new green screen, and I've given Trent full control of the green screen, and he promises not to do anything stupid with it whatsoever. Now, in this week's news update, Disney is making its own MMORPG. We have the Lord of the Rings Online with the Harvestmath Festival coming through. Elder Scrolls Online has a free week of VIP for you. World of Warcraft Retail may have just put the nail in the coffin in the differences between it and classic World of Warcraft, and so much more, including a bombshell announcement about Final Fantasy XIV. We have all of that and so much more, but first I wanted to say a massive thank you to every single one of you. The channel just reached 3,000 subscribers. What an incredible journey it's been to hang out with you all, and I'm very, very excited to continue this news segment. So again, thank you all of you that have stuck with us for this long period of time, but let's jump into the news, shall we? Now, first of all, Disney is getting into the world of MMORPGs, and with all of its massive budget and incredible storytelling potential, I am so excited for what this could mean. So let's jump in with the world of Avatar. That's correct, the world of Avatar with the Na'vi, a fantastic movie back in the day when I saw it, a great, beautiful planet of Pandora. Pandaria would be funny though, like a little Avatar and World of Warcraft panda crossover. Fantastic idea. Let's make it happen. And I mean, the conflict could be fantastic. The native Na'vi people with their flying mounts and this beautiful world tree, kind of like Teldrassil, and then you have the Earthlings coming in with their guns and mechanical things. This could actually be a really, really good thing. So let's learn about this great news segment. Well, this game is being developed as a result of a partnership between Disney and Tencent. Oh no. Oh God, Tencent. But maybe it'll get better. Avatar Reckoning, good name, is an ambitious MMORPG title that is coming to Android and iOS. Oh God. The producers of Dragon Raja will be creating this MMORPG to have an auto-pathing, auto-quest complete. Gosh dang it. Disney, you could have done something awesome here, but you just created every other mobile MMORPG game. Strike one, we've got Tencent Gaming, the worst gaming platform in the world. CCP, please don't kill me. Strike two, we've got a fully mobile game, and then strike three, we've got an auto-pathing game. And just for kicks and giggles, the Tencent subsidiary creating this game is called Arcasar Games, which created Dragon Raja, which is a gacha and fully pay-to-win cash shot game. This one might be a little bit of a doozy. And when I heard about the story, I was actually very excited because, you know what, this sounds kind of fun. An idea of an Avatar MMORPG. I'd never thought of it before, but it could have actually been a really, really cool thing. A great system, great story, but unfortunately, when you get Disney and Tencent involved, they're not going to create anything of quality. And hey, that looks like that's what this game is going to look like, but we'll keep our eye on this one. This one is currently in development, but you know, it's kind of a bummer. Hey, but let's move on to better news. And Lord of the Rings Online's Harvest Festival has just launched this last week. It is a fantastic time to be a LOTRO player. Lots of people back in. People are getting excited for the Before the Shadow expansion, but also the Harvestmath Festival is one of my favorite times of year to play Lord of the Rings online. The Harvestmath Festival brings with it a spooky, scary corn maze, lots of great cosmetics, as well as really fun little mini games, and my favorite personal, or maybe least personal favorite part, the haunted hobbit hole, which actually legitimately scared me when I played it this week. Take a look.
The purple, can I just not ah! It actually that actually scared me, dude.
Now, if you want to jump into the Harvestmath Festival right now, as always, there will be rewards for completing quests and festival activities, and players can earn rewards from years past, as well as new ones this year, such as a black marble wolf dog pet, housing items, and more. The Harvestmath Festival is a LOTRO tradition, bringing players from all over the game back to Hobbiton's party tree to celebrate the changing of the season and take part in some scary quests, such as exploring the haunted burrow. The party tree isn't the only place this party is happening, as quests will be seen in Breland and Thorin's Hall, as well as the special festival instanced Wistmead, where the corn maze is. And I gotta tell you, it's a really fun time to play LOTRO. I had a great time playing this week. Let me know in the comments below if you have been playing the LOTRO Harvestmath Festival, because I've been having an absolute blast. Alright, and next is one of my all-time favorite stories that I think we've ever reported on in the news here, and I'm going to try to get through this without tearing up because it's a really beautiful one. It is that ArenaNet is bringing a brand new character based on a real child to celebrate Extra Life 2022 to Guild Wars 2. Now, ArenaNet is adding a new NPC character to Guild Wars 2, though the inspiration behind this new character is certainly unique. Celebrating a partnership with the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals, the new character is based off of one of the CMN champion children and will be voiced by games veteran Jennifer Hale. The new character, April the Mesmer Wonder Kid, is based off of the real-life story of April Arellano, who is a recipient of life-saving help from the Children's Miracle Network. ArenaNet has set up a special partnership with the CMN to feature the new character based on April, who is dealing with a life-threatening infection until the Children's Health of Orange County doctors are able to save her life. At just 15 months old, April was hit with a 105-degree fever and unable to breathe properly. Her parents brought her into the hospital, where she was transferred to a CMN facility to treat her. My goodness. Sorry guys, I'm a parent of under 3 kids under 5. That's so freaking sad. Once there, the doctors were able to immediately treat April and diagnose her with septic shock. Septic shock is fatal in 98% of cases involving children, but thanks to the specialists of CHOC, April was quickly diagnosed and treated, saving her life. Further tests showed that the septic shock April was suffering from had stopped the blood flow to her extremities, causing the skin there to die all the way down to her muscle. April was transferred to the burn unit at a neighboring hospital, where they determined that the gangrene had already begun to set foot on April's right calf. The doctors made the decision to amputate April's leg. Wow. And stop any further infection, once again saving her life. April, though, happily, is now 10 years old and living a full life thanks to the work done by the incredible doctors who cared for her. According to her profile in the Guild Wars 2 website, April loves to dance and performs in the theater. I'm not gonna get through it. I'm not gonna get through it. April loves to dance and perform in the theater. The new character in Guild Wars 2 celebrates April by adding her to the MMO as a precocious young adept mesmer, complete with the latest Jade technology powering a prosthetic. Man, this is tough. Featuring a prosthetic leg as well as some sweet dance moves. So the MMO developer of the week, of course, goes to ArenaNet for this incredible display. Of course, a lot of games are doing this Extra Life 2022 thing, but I think they pulled it off absolutely fantastically. Well done to the ArenaNet team. I'm going to link to their donation site below in the description, because of course this goes much further than jokes. As someone who's a dad, I cannot imagine having a 15-month-old going through this and having to go through the harrowing journey like this. To have a 10-year-old with a character in a game that represents you must be absolutely incredible. So April, cheers to you. I hope that you're doing extremely well. And hey, be sure to donate to Extra Life 2022. Link's going to be in the description down below. This goes so much further than video games. April, I hope you're doing really well. Now let's jump back into the news with another story featuring one that I'm a little bit terrified to talk about, which is Final Fantasy XIV. Now, Final Fantasy XIV is going to be opening up brand new servers coming up in November. The new servers are opening up Halicarnassus. Halicarnassus, what a great name. I'm gonna name my fourth child Halicarnassus. Maduin, Marilith, and Seraph. If you're anything like me, I know myself some Final Fantasy XIV players because I've been a Final Fantasy XIV player, and y'all know that with new servers comes the most important thing to all Final Fantasy XIV players, and that is player freaking housing, baby. Now on November 5th, the housing lotteries for residential districts will begin, giving those players who transfer or create new characters a chance to finally own a home in Final Fantasy XIV. Now this is very exciting because of course this means that player numbers have been growing, but we have to talk about something very serious, and this, my friends, is a Bright Life breaking news update. Now, if you, like me, have had the pleasure of playing this incredible game of Final Fantasy XIV, you will notice incredible players with great glamours and systems, great raids, incredible groups, and incredibly moving story. Shout out to the Nidhogg story, which is the first story that has genuinely made me cry playing video games. But there's a problem, friends. You see, at night, come home the 50-year-old professionals and the 35-year-olds who still live in their mother's basement, no disrespect, and they log on to play these short little menaces, the little demons that we all have come to for some reason endearingly call Lalafels. Now, this sickness has struck many people. They have given up playing incredibly beefy, awesome warriors or beautiful, incredible Eorzean women to play what is akin to a toddler in this game. No other game has this. Even the cat people in this game I will tolerate, but the sickness of Lalafell has gone too far. They stand too small to where you can't click on them and heal them. They run around acting like their glamours are any good, even though they're just itty bitty teeny tiny. They're really just a Hobbit copy, and I will not stand J.R.R. Tolkien slander, thank you very much. But the problem really is that the Lalafell epidemic has reached national crisis levels. That's right. Now, in Eorzea right now, there are an estimated 21 million active players. Not a bad game. But unfortunately, 3.9 million of those are Lalafell. 3,949,005 Lalafells exist right now in the world of Eorzea, and it is only getting stronger. So friends, I want to let you know this. Be sure to be careful. When you see these little things running around, do not falter. Run away from them because you will think they're cute and you will want to roll a Lalafell. Down with Lalafells 2022. Make it a hashtag, put it on Twitter. Let's use our incredible platform to call out Final Fantasy XIV and tell them to remove the Lalafell race from the game entirely. I want to see it happen. I have 3,000 subscribers, so I am an influencer. Now also, Final Fantasy XIV is in the news because the spooky season has arrived in Final Fantasy XIV as well. With All Saints Wake, a new location and items are available for you. The event has new quests and new rewards this year, as well as an all-new location to explore. Grab the event quest, a Mad Masquerade from the Adventurers Guild Instigator in Old Gridania, and get ready for spooky season when the event begins on October 19th. The Haunted Manor returns, and the new location for this year is a festive-themed garden decorated in the spookiest of fun ways. Expect pumpkins, decorative lighting, and a huge pumpkin centerpiece. There are also a few spots for great photos in the area, unless you're Lalafells, stay away. And you can make your way around the yard as you are, or find the unsavory imp and transform you into characters you've met. Now, all jokes aside, Final Fantasy XIV is a great game. I have loved my time in that game. I have played everything from a Reaper to a Red Mage, and man, what a great game. I love the weapon changing system, and I love events like this. I think this is gonna be a really great time for players like you, but hey, let me know in the comments, have you played this game and have you been infected with the Lalafell sickness? We will pray for you. Next, in a little bit of a somber moment for me, World of Warcraft has finally removed Alliance versus Horde faction differences in open tagging. That's right, shared mob tagging is going to be debuting in the Dragonflight pre-patch. Now, if you don't know what mob tagging is in this tap target MMO, when an Alliance player used to attack a mob for a Horde player, it was completely grayed out, meaning that you could not get experience, quest completion, quest progress, or any sort of loot from that character. But World of Warcraft has decided to remove that cap. Of course, earlier this year, they removed grouping restrictions so that Horde and Alliance players could play together. But this made sense, especially when, you have friends on opposite factions that might want to play together sometime. But this one actually, in my opinion, really does take classic and retail and put them kind of on opposite ends of the spectrum in more ways than ever. Now, of course, in this open tagging system, war mode will still be a thing, so if you decide to go into the open world PvP type thing like I like to do, you still, of course, the tags will be based on factions, but if not, then, you know, if you're a human paladin, your orc warrior friend can come alongside you and help you fight a boss. You can even group up together, and for me, this is completely fine from like a cognitive perspective, but in my heart, it's kind of a bummer because for me, I fell in love with World of Warcraft back in the day because of the Alliance versus Horde conflict. I thought this was such a cool idea that you would have two factions against one another, all populated by players. You'd be killing one another and in competition with one another in the open world. And slowly, WoW Retail has kind of taken that away. And again, I understand why. Some of us are kind of getting into our 30s and we have some friends that have played on the opposite faction for all their lives. And it is cool to be able to group up with them and do stuff. But in my opinion, this is the thing that kind of puts the nail in the coffin for the differences between classic and retail WoW. And again, that may not be a horrible thing for you, but for me, it's kind of a bummer. And so for me, it is a little bit of a somber thing. Again, I'm not angry at it, but it's a bummer to see kind of retail WoW go fully away from classic WoW. Now, of course, we still do have classic. I know I've got a lot of classic lovers out there as well, but this really does make it almost a completely different game in my opinion now, because it is just really different from what I came into. Also in World of Warcraft news, if you have spent your time in World of Warcraft getting yourself geared up from Eternity's End and onwards, there's some important info to know as we get closer to the Dragonflight pre-patch, because Blizzard has announced that the class set bonuses on Eternity's End will be marked as legacy with the release of the Dragonflight pre-patch. Now, what's very fascinating about this is essentially what's going to be happening is when pre-patch launches, probably next week is what we're really guessing, then all of the legacy, all of the raid item bonuses from the Jailer raid are going to be completely gone. They're going to be marked as legacy. They won't be there anymore, which is a fascinating choice because Dragonflight doesn't come out until the end of November, and this is really just still mid-October. So it is kind of a bummer to see them, do away with those that quickly. I don't know why in the pre-patch you couldn't do that, but I'm sure they're just trying to get us used to what's coming up next. But that is what's happening in World of Warcraft. All right, now there is a huge week coming up for New World with the Brimstone Sands update release. This is going to bring with it a brand new levels 1 to 30 zone, a brand new end game zone, as well as an awesome thing called the Greatsword. But New World did something really exciting this week, in my opinion, where they actually released an expected server queue graphic that allowed you to see if the server that you're on, that allowed you to see kind of the high risk zones for queue times once the Brimstone Sands releases. I'm going to put that graphic up on the screen right now. You can see that there's a lowest risk, medium risk, and highest risk area. And this is really helpful for you if you're thinking of transferring servers, or if you're like us, my friends and I in my Discord, which by the way, link in the description if you want to join a Discord with New World players, LOTRO players, and really players from everywhere. But this is really helpful if you're wanting to roll a new character with your friends. You can know that maybe if you wanted to avoid the queue times, you'll probably want to go in the lowest risk category. If you wanted to make sure you had a server that has a good amount of people, but will probably have a little queue, you can of course go in the medium risk category as well. But with such a major update coming and the sustained growth and increased demand over recent weeks, having this general guide shows the potential for queues. All current servers are divided into 3 color-coded categories. Those in the red are at the highest risk of queues and possible server locking. Those in the yellow are at a medium risk, and those in the green are at the lowest risk. Some of the ones in the lowest green category are, of course, newly added servers. And I think this is a really nice touch. It shows just how important this update is for Amazon. It shows that New World recognizes how important Brimstone Sands is. I think that them giving as much warning as they possibly can to players coming in is going to be a really helpful thing for the game's credibility long term. And so I am really excited for this. I think this is a great idea on their part. But actually, what do you think? I'd be very interested and very curious, because I think that if they nail this launch, this could be a top 5 MMO in my opinion. There is still that 30 to 60 window that's still going to be a little bit grindy, but at the end of the day, if you have a great beginning of the game and you have a great end game, I really do think that New World can make a comeback. Now, not only this with New World, it was really cool because they actually released a big Greatsword update, which the Greatsword is definitely going to be my main weapon when I jump in this week on the 18th. It looks incredible. They say this about the Greatsword. The Greatsword is a powerful two-handed weapon like the Great Axe or Warhammer, but uses martial techniques rather than sheer power to vanquish foes. An offensive and defensive stance set it apart in terms of gameplay, while the unique visual traits make it feel even more distinct. Another special aspect of using this weapon is that it's reliant on skills and stances. There's a measured technique in mastering this weapon because attacks are central to the blade's core design. It embodies relentless offense paired with an aggressive defense. Even defensive skills tend to have some kind of attacking component. Stances are themed and will be depicted visually so you can recognize your stance or an opponent's just by looking. Some of them are angelic and demonic, fire and water, barbarian and knight, yin and yang, order and chaos. And so I'm really excited about this. I, of course, am going to be using the greatsword, but what about you? Are you going to be playing New World? And if you are, let me know what weapon are you going to be maining, because I think that's one of the coolest parts of this game. Now, jumping over to the world of Elder Scrolls Online, one of my favorite games, if I do say so myself. I had a great time playing this week on Twitch. Trent, what? You love my Twitch channel. You don't watch me on Twitch? You're fired. Trent, wait, don't leave. I'll pay for your coffee tomorrow morning if you come back. Please, just put the green screen back. But anyway, the Elder Scrolls Online has kicked off a week-long free subscription promotion. That's right, you can get ESO Plus completely for free this week, which can be really nice. Now, this promo grants familiar boons like a crafting mat's bag, increased experience and gold earnings, the ability to dye costumes, and access to a wealth of quest and zone DLCs, including the recently released Lost Depths DLC. Now, instructions on how to redeem this ESO Plus code are going to be in the links in the description down below, but I really enjoy Elder Scrolls Online. I've had a lot of fun with ESO Plus. I think one of the big negatives of Elder Scrolls Online is that you have to buy like the base game and then also the expansion, and then it's pretty necessary to have ESO Plus as well, so it can be a little bit of an expensive hurdle to get into, but this gives you the ability to at least try ESO Plus for a week to see if it's right for you. All right, and lastly, indie MMORPG Embers Adrift had its full launch this week, and it actually really experienced a smooth release, which is incredible. Now, this MMORPG looks to be an old school MMO. That's really the vibe that they're going for. And I gotta say, if you wanna be old school, you gotta have a terrible release, Embers Adrift. I mean, come on, you gotta have like a week of like people raging on the forums and sending in emails for refunds, but I guess you could probably improve in that one area. I guess that's fine. In fact, even newer MMORPGs have really terrible launches, so way to go, Embers Adrift, that's awesome. Now, of course, if you don't know, Embers Adrift does look to be an old school MMORPG with no quest hubs, no minimaps, no railroads, and they want you to experience an ever-expanding world of adventure. They also want you to overcome impossible challenge with a feeling like no other, because this is a really team-based game. You're really supposed to do it with friends, which is a really cool thing. Stormhaven Studios' flagship title, The Embers Adrift, has officially released, and thus far the experience has been smooth sailing. Contrary to multiple MMORPG releases of the past, the servers are stable, there are no discernible queue times, and the starter areas are full of new players, which is really cool. Eloa, the community manager, said that the launch went much better and smoother than expected. I'm happily surprised to see so many new players joining us and enjoying our game. There have been so many positive comments in the chat and game and on social media. Earlier this week, the team provided numerous articles and videos to get new players ready. A story trailer was provided to give ample backstory for those that may not be up to speed on the world and lore. Well, the hits kept on coming as well for this game, because they announced that today, upon release of this video, that there will be the first New Haven trade fair, where players will get together and buy and sell their wares, services, and make connections with other players. Now, I personally have been really excited about this game because it does look to bring back that old school MMO vibe, and especially with some of these no holding hands things and really having to play with friends, I really hope that it can do it. The mechanics are a little bit clunky, but that's just because it's an indie MMO. I do think that the buy-in price is a little bit high. Of course, you have to spend $20 for the box price, and you have to spend an additional $10 a month as a subscription fee for this game. But at the end of the day, if it's a good game, people will pay for it. So it sounds so far like things are going well. I can't wait to read some reviews on this one. I'll be sure to keep you guys updated as this one grows, because I have heard from a lot of people that they're very, very excited about this one. So I'll be sure to keep you guys posted. Well, all right, friends. Well, that about wraps it up for me. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end. It's always awesome to have you all on board. Hey, I'd love to hear a comment on what your favorite part of the news was today. Was there a story that stood out to you? Was there one that you loved, one that you hated? Was there anything that was disappointing to you? Be sure to let me know in the comments down below. If you liked the video, please hit that like button. It actually really does help in the algorithm, helps more people see the MMORPG news. A huge request for you is that if you like this and you have friends that like MMOs, please share it with them. Let them know that they can get weekly MMO news right here on the channel every single week. And of course, if you loved the video, please subscribe to it as well. I do want to say a massive shout out to our patrons who don't just help this channel survive, but also thrive. Thank you to all of you guys that are really helping out. It helps making these videos a possibility. So you guys are incredible. But friends, as always, the two things that I say at the end of every one of my videos are the two most important things that I could say in any video, and it's that you are more loved than you know, and you are so much more valuable than you realize. I hope that you have an incredible day, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. I want to let you know a couple ways to connect with me. First of all, we got an awesome Discord in the description. We've got a Patreon if you'd like to give to the channel and help support more video creation. And I am live on Twitch quite often over at twitch.tv/brightlifecommunity. Would love to see you there. Always love interacting on those live video streams. But I hope you have an incredible day, my loved and valued friend. Have an awesome one.